Bertram's tightrope. The Fat Controller spoke severely to Mike. "You are a very naughty engine," he said. "I won't have engines that are rude and won't do as they're told. But Bertram had to pull you as well as the flying kipper, while you have been taught a lesson to not be very rude to him," he said. "For your punishment, you will shunt trucks in the yards and think about your action." But, said Mike. "There are no buts," said the Fat Controller sternly, and he walked away, leaving Mike to sulk in the sheds. But for the rest of the day, Mike began pulling trucks and shunting even more trucks at the coal mines. Mike began to feel tired and very bored. "Hey trucks," he said, "can you keep a secret?" "Sure," they said. "We're good at keeping secrets." "When we get to the crossing," he said, "promise to bump me off the rails." "Sure," said the trucks, and they all agreed with Mike. But a few weeks later, Mike was letting out of the sheds and was a really useful engine again. But he was disappointed that he didn't get to the level crossing. The trucks began to feel bored and felt like Mike was telling them a joke. But Mike was only telling them the truth. But Mike, however, was not convinced if it was going to be a good plan for him or for the trucks. The next day later, Mike was off to do some more other duties, so Bertram was taking care of Mike's trucks instead. But the trucks were not happy. "We want a proper engine, not a brown monster," they said. "Well, you're just going to have to accept it," said Bertram snootily, and he puffed away. Bertram began enjoying this. The trucks were behaving well, but not for long. They bumped Bertram hard. On, they cried. "Help, help," cried Bertram. He was going way too fast, and he didn't realize that he was heading for danger. It had been raining a few weeks later, and the river was so high that it destroyed the Action Canyon Bridge. And a few pieces of track had been left on the bridge, except for the supports. Bertram was going way too fast. He couldn't stop until it was too late. I can't stop," cried Bertram. And then it happened. Bertram applied the brakes. He stood on the rails, but his wheels were thundering along the track. And this time Bertram was in terrible danger. Soon Mike felt terrible when he heard the news, and he finally came to the rescue. He took the trucks away, and with his mighty strength, he pulled Bertram's wheels off the bridge. "Thank you," said Bertram. "Without your help, I could have been washed away," he said. Mike didn't know what to think of this, but he did. "I'm sorry," said Mike. "This was my fault. I was telling the trucks that they might push me off a level crossing, but they didn't know it was you," he said. Bertram finally forgave Mike and smiled. When the Fat Controller came back, he was very impressed. "Well done, Mike," he said. "You were a very brave engine, but you had to think hard," he said. Yes, sir, thank you, sir," said Mike. "It was my fault, sir. I told the trucks they might push me off a level crossing, but they But they played a trick on Bertram instead, sir, said Mike. But I said I was sorry. The Fat Controller smiled. You did your best, but you were a really useful engine indeed, he said. From now on, you know better than to try any tricks, he said. Bertram and Mike smiled. They were never rivals ever again, and from now on, they became good friends.